Recognize the member for Nevis 1.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and a very pleasant good morning to you. I also want to say good morning to my colleagues on this side of the House, members opposite, all those who are listening and viewing this sitting of Parliament. Madam President, I want to commence my statement by offering congratulations to you. Congratulations on being newlywed. I certainly want to say to you and your husband, I want to wish that you would have a very long and happy and fruitful life together along this path. I have been in the business now for 23 years, and Madam President, it is a good business to be in. Congratulations to you. Madam President, I'm trying to encourage a particular individual.
Just one?
Madam President, I also want to say how humble I am for the birthday wishes from my colleagues and certainly from many persons around. I am indeed thankful that God has been so good to me to bless me with another year. And I am here, Madam President, in this honorable House, ensuring that we do the people's business. So I'm indeed thankful, Madam President. Madam President, I've been given a lot of information this morning, and I believe that the various heads of department have asked me to say a lot of things this morning, and I will try and compress my statement, Madam President, as quickly as I possibly can. I want to start, Madam President, with the Labor Department. And the Labor Department will be hosting Career Fair 2023 on the 10th to the 11th of July, 2023. That's next Monday and Tuesday at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park under the theme, Shape Your Future. And Madam President, the idea is that there will be a number of presenters at this career fair on day one. And some of the topics that will be expounded on include customer service, workplace behavior, and quality work ethics. Let me repeat that. Customer service, workplace behavior, and quality work ethics. And I've said to them, Madam President, make sure that this particular session is recorded and recorded twice. When I say recorded twice, I need it to be recorded on 2 different platforms, because I believe, Madam President, that this is a presentation that I would hope that all of Nevis, those who are seeking employment, those who are presently employed, can learn something from. Customer service, workplace behavior, and quality work ethics. Also, there would be seeing a presentation on resume and cover letter writing, financial literacy, and interestingly enough, Madam President, we also will be having a presentation from the Technical Vocational Education and Training, that is TVET, and the Advanced Vocational Education Center, AVEC. In the interest, Madam President, of trying to encourage our young people to take technical and vocational training a lot more seriously. On day 2, Madam President, we are hoping to have some 14 booths, and those booths would be displaying their various skills and trade in the area of electricity, cosmetology, carpentry and construction, mechanics, welding, graphics design, plumbing and air condition, concrete and block making, engineering on circuit wiring, occupational health and safety, hospitality, spa, college selection process, and labor laws and employer-employee relations, Madam President. All of these are areas that the Labor Department will hope to highlight at Career Fair 2023 on the 10th of July to the 11th of July at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park, starting at 9 a.m. on the 10th. So I want to encourage the general public and especially our young people to avail themselves of this opportunity. Madam President, I will turn very quickly to the Department of Public Works. And they have asked me to advise the general public that as of January this year, we are happy to report that we have strengthened the technical team at the Public Works Department, in that we have Mr. Stedroy Pemberton rejoining the department as an architect after completing his Bachelor of Science degree in architecture, Madam President. I want to congratulate Mr. Stedroy Pemberton for rejoining the team. I also, Madam President, want to advise the general public that we are also happy to have joining the team there at the Public Works Department Mr. Don Dyer, who is a qualified civil engineer, having recently completed his master's degree in this field, Madam President. So we are strengthening the team, Madam President, there at the Public Works Department, because I am of the view that while the Public Works Department is one of the most visible departments on the island of Nevis, in that everything they do is seen by the general public, it is my vision to ensure that we have all the necessary technical skills, Madam President, at that department to do the necessary work that they have to do to build out the island of Nevis. So I want to say to those two gentlemen, congratulations, and I hope that they would render their service to the best interests of the development of the island of Nevis. Madam President, the building divisions there at the Public Works Department, they continue to be very busy, and the latest project, Madam President, that they have been engaged in is really to outfit a building in Charlestown that would soon see the relocation of the Charlestown Police Station. For some time, Madam President, the good lawmen and lawwomen on the island of Nevis have been expressing some concern about the facility there at the Charlestown Police Station. And I am happy that the federal government, Madam President, have given this project some consideration, and we are hoping that in very short order we will see the renovation and upgrade of the Charlestown Police Station building in Charlestown, so that our lawmen and our lawwomen can be in a much more comfortable position. But in the meantime, the Public Works Department Building Division have been doing some outfitting and upgrade on a building in Charlestown so that the police station can soon be relocated. So I want to say thanks to them and also to the federal government for ensuring that the police officers on the island of Nevis are also given the attention that they do need. Madam President, I am also happy to report that the Nevis Island Road Rehabilitation Project Phase 2 from Cliff Dwellers to Nisbet has been, in all intent and purposes, Madam President, has been completed. And the objectives, Madam President, sought to ensure that we saw improvement in the drainage infrastructure. And we saw the construction of some 6 major drains, 3 in Newcastle, 2 in Wally, and 1 at Westbury. We also, Madam President, and I made it very clear in the initial discussion on this project, that I've always been a little uncomfortable going around Hurricane Hill, Madam President. And I felt that this was an opportunity for us to remedy that situation. I am happy that Hurricane Hill has been reduced and the line of sight going around and over Hurricane Hill has significantly been enhanced, Madam President. We have seen the construction of some 1.3 kilometers of side drains, curbs and slippers, U-drain and V-drains, all in an effort, Madam President, to deal with some drainage issues in that area. We have seen the improvement and expansion of parking facility at the Wally Beach water taxi, where some 30 new parking spaces have been created along the perimeter fence of the water taxi facility. That is phase one, Madam President, and we are hoping to embark on phase two as it relates to parking at the water taxi pier facility at Wally by ensuring that we construct, Madam President, a proper parking facility on the land that was recently constructed by the Nevis Island Administration from the Yarwoods. Madam President, we have also seen some improvement in the water supply along the road construction from Cliff Dwellers to Nisbet. We have seen new 6-inch distribution lines from Cliff Dwellers to Hurricane Hill. We have also seen, Madam President, new service lines throughout the entire length of the project. And we have seen, Madam President, significant improvement in the electricity supply, as the Nevis Electricity Company would have relocated some 12 poles, Madam President. And I want to thank NEVLEC. I want to pause and thank NEVLEC because I think that while we often seek to improve the road network, NEVLEC have been one of those partners. I know sometimes they are not too happy with me, but they cooperate in the end, to ensure, Madam President, that we create the necessary safety mechanism in the relocation of some of these poles. And I really, really want to thank NEVLEC for partnering with us in ensuring that we were able to accomplish what we set out to accomplish on this project. I also want to thank, Madam President, the company, Surrey Paving and Aggregate, the Nevis Water Department, of course, NEVLEC, Digicel, Flow, the Department of Information and Technology, our Public Works Department, the Ministry of Finance who paid the bills, and of course, Madam President, my cabinet and cabinet colleagues for supporting this project. I believe, Madam President, that we are all in agreement that this project have seen significant improvement in the road network from Cliff Dwellers all the way over, Madam President, to Nisbet. I am also happy, Madam President, to report that on the 16th of June, we would have signed the contract with Surrey Paving to see rehabilitation work of the bypass road, from the Water Department depot there in Stony Grove, all the way over to the island main road by the Artisan Village. So I want to thank, Madam President, once again, my cabinet colleagues for supporting this project. And I also want to thank, again, NEVLEC, because just up to yesterday, there was assisting us by the relocating of a number of poles along the carriageway, Madam President. We are hoping that this project will also see some improvement in some drainage. There are some areas that create some issues with flooding, and we are also hoping to mitigate against those, Madam President. Madam President, I also want to say to the general public that I am in possession of the first draft of the request for proposal for consulting services for the detailed engineering survey, design of road and report preparation of the South Coast Road construction project from Long Point, and I see that they have all the way over to Coconut Walk, which is approximately 12.5 kilometers of road, Madam President. We have the draft request for proposal, and I believe that the legal department is finalizing and reviewing and scrutinizing this document, Madam President. And once the legal department is satisfied, Madam President, that this document is ready to be released to the general public for the procurement of these various consultancy services, we will make that announcement to the general public. I would move very quickly, Madam President, to our post office. And I want to say, Madam President, that there are some very exciting things that is happening at the post office. And one of which, Madam President, is the St. Kitts and Nevis Post Office has embarked on a project that in its initial stage. That is the National Addressing System and Internal Management Counter Automation System. And Madam President, the idea of this St. Kitts and Nevis Post Office addressing system is to ensure that we can, with some semblance of greater accuracy, of various addresses. And this project, Madam President, is to ensure that we embark on street naming and numbering system throughout the length and breadth of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Madam President, it is no secret that both St. Kitts and Nevis are now, in my mind, a multicultural, it's almost a little United Nations, Madam President, in St. Kitts and Nevis, where we have various persons from throughout the region and from throughout the world, actually, are now residing in St. Kitts and Nevis. And it is our hope, Madam President, that when this project is completed, that we will be able to say with some greater certainty that Mr. X is living at this particular address on this particular street. That, Madam President, will greatly assist not only our postal service, but also our police, the ambulance. It will definitely assist the water department and Nevlec and Skelec as they seek, Madam President, to become more efficient in carrying out their mandate throughout the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. So that is a project, Madam President, that is in its infant state, and we are hoping that that will be completed in the very near future so that the addressing of every single person, business, resident in the Federation will be simplified and will be more clarified, Madam President. Madam President, we are also at the post office presently testing our counter automated system. And we are putting it at this moment, Madam President, through the various paces, going through and tweeting and making sure that all of the parameters that we are seeking to have in that counter automation system is functioning and functioning properly. And we are hoping that we'll be able to launch that system, Madam President, in celebration of World Post Day 2023 in October. Madam President, I will turn very quickly to our planning department. And Madam President, we continue to see that we continue to ensure that we engage in capacity building at our planning department. And in so doing, Madam President, thus far in 2023, a number of our planning department employees were given the opportunity to participate in several programs, both locally, regionally, and internationally. We have seen, Madam President, the exposure to basic installation and maintenance of rooftop solar training, and this was hosted by the government of the Republic of China and Taiwan. We have seen, Madam President, that certificate of achievement in the introduction to real estate law offered by the University of the West Indies Open Campus, Madam President. And we are trying to expose our officers at the planning department to various areas, Madam President, that will definitely be important to the operation, Madam President. Madam President, I just want to give some brief statistics as it relates to a number of applications that have come to the planning department. For the period January to May 2023, we have seen 115 detailed building applications that were received by the planning department. Of that number, Madam President, 109 were approved, and compliance matters are to be addressed on the remaining 6. For the same period, 2022, there were 137 detailed building applications, and of that number, 126 were approved, Madam President, with 11 applications with outstanding matters to be addressed. So the planning department continued to be very busy as it relates to the number of applications to that department. We have seen, Madam President, some 67 new buildings commence construction for the period January 2023 to June 2023. For the same period in 2022, there were 107, and in 2021, there were 66, Madam President. Madam, on the revenue side, for the period January 2023 to May 2023, the total revenue collected was $79,242.81. And for the same period in 2022, we have seen the collection of $75,319, Madam President. And in 2021, we have seen the collection of $51,854. So for the period of 2023, January to May, we have seen an increase over the revenue collection under the same period, Madam President. Madam President, and I want to give a little breakdown, Madam President, of the statistics as it relates to the various types of application to the planning department. We have seen 2 tourism-related projects, 6 apartments project, and 12 commercial or industrial projects, Madam President. And I believe, Madam President, that this continued to see the expansion of our tourism and our apartment, and also in the commercial sector, Madam President. And I want to thank and congratulate once again the good folks there at our planning department for the hard work that they continue to do, Madam President. Madam President, I want to turn very quickly to our water department. And they too have been busy for the last few months. They have completed, Madam President, some 1,500 feet of 4-inch PVC pipe in the Brown Hill area, from the netball court, all the way down to the intersection. That's 1,500 feet of 4-inch PVC pipe, Madam President. And they have replaced some areas that have had 2-inch lines, and I believe 1.5-inch pipe, Madam President. So they have stabilized the water pressure in that area. We have also seen, Madam President, the installation of some 800 feet of 2-inch high-density polyurethane pipes in the Calcahoon Estate area, and we have dubbed that road, Madam President, the Banjo Road. That was phase 1 of that project, and we are hoping, Madam President, that we can now go in on that project and have the actual road construction completed. They have also, Madam President, completed a number of upgrades on the Bath Village Road project. As that project is currently ongoing, they are also in the process of improving, Madam President, the water network on that project. We have also, Madam President, seen the replacement of what I believe may very well be one of the last piece of cast iron pipe on the island of Nevis. And Madam President, I say that very guardedly because I stand to be corrected. But in the TDC area, we have completed an area from the island main road into the, well, I call it the industrial site in the TDC area. We have replaced a 4-inch cast iron pipe that has been there for many, many years, Madam President, with a 4-inch PVC line, Madam President. And I want to thank the Water Department for completing that project. Madam President, we have seen the installation of some 6,000 feet of 6-inch high-density polyurethane pipes on the Cliff Dwellers project. And I believe, Madam President, that the government have taken the policy that wherever there is new road construction, we will ensure that we upgrade the water network wherever necessary, Madam President. And this is another example where we have seen some 6,000 feet of 6-inch water line on the Cliff Dwellers Road Improvement Project. Madam President, I also want to advise the general public that the United Arab Emirates Caribbean Renewable Energy Funded Project, we have seen, that's the small desal project, Madam President, we have seen some movement on that project, and we now have a contractor on the island that is seeing some work on that project, Madam President, and we are hoping that later during the course of this year, that UAE desal water enhancement project will definitely come online, Madam President, to bring some relief as it regards to our water situation on the island of Nevis. I want to also, Madam President, advise that we are at the moment having some discussion as it regards to new sources of water. And we are in the process, Madam President, of, and I hope that we can enter into that agreement very shortly, to have a company to do some additional mapping on the island of Nevis that can give some clear indication, Madam President, as to where we can do some drilling for water. And once that process is completed, then we are hoping that we will see some drilling on the island of Nevis very shortly, Madam President. Madam President, I want to turn very quickly to disaster, because disaster department said to me, Mr. Minister, make sure you said this in the House. And they have put it in a letter form to Madam President. Madam President, I am happy to report that the Global Support and Development MV Dawn visit to Nevis as of the 31st of July to the 4th of August. The team at the Global Support and Development, GSD, has scheduled a visit to the Federation with its emergency response vessel, MV Dawn, during the period the 24th of July to the 4th of August 2023. This comes as a result of discussion with the Nevis disaster management agencies and stakeholders during their fact-finding mission to Nevis on the 2nd of March 2023. The first stop will be in St. Kitts on the 24th to the 28th of July. The vessel will then proceed to Nevis to commence activities with the disaster management stakeholders during the 31st of July to the 4th of August. Madam President, I have said in this particular meeting on the 2nd of March 2023 that I am hoping that we will not have to use the services of global support. Why I say that, Madam President? Because it would mean that if we then have to use the services of the MV Dawn, it would mean that Nevis would have been severely impacted by some natural disaster. I am really hoping, Madam President, that we won't have to use it. But they have offered that service, and I believe as well that the legal department is finalizing that MOU with the Global Support and Development. I believe, Madam President, that their visit to Nevis, however, will offer the island of Nevis and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis another platform in the event of any natural disaster. But I am still hoping that we won't have to use it. Madam President, I believe as well that this visit of the MV Dawn would also allow our disaster management officials the opportunity to be exposed to different type of training that is on the seaside. And we are hoping that the knowledge and training and experience that they will gain from this visit will go down to the benefit as well of the people of Nevis, especially our fishermen, our fishing folk. And I'm looking at this visit, Madam President, from that kind of angle, where the disaster management in cooperation with our Coast Guard and perhaps the MV Dawn, that we can add another layer of service to our fishing folk and our marine, Madam President. That, for me, in my mind, would be to the ultimate benefit of the people of Nevis and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Madam President, with those, what I hope to have been very short words, may it please you. And I take